So we're going to look at the Etx Capital Interface in this video. Now, Etx is quite proud of its platform. It likes to talk about it in its adverts. It calls it mission control, or no, ground control for traders. So it's pretty proud of its software. Let's take a look around. Now, by default, this window is open. The reason it's closed is I'll tell you about that in a second. This horizontal bar here is your account details. It's got your cash balance, the liquidation value of your account, and the funds you have available. Now, in our case, these are all the same because we don't have any trades open just at this moment. You can also see your profit or loss, whether you're winning or losing. We don't have anything open right now, so that's empty. This little button shows you your connection speed. Could be useful if you're on a 3G connection, for instance, and you want to know if it's you or the server that's laggy. Now this button I alluded to a second ago. This lets you show or hide this account summary. That's pretty good if you are someone who works in an office where people walk around. You don't want them particularly seeing that you have £70,000 in your account, or you have £7 in your account, and you don't want them seeing how much you're in profit or loss. So that's a pretty good feature for those who value their privacy. Now, the way Etx structures its interface is like this. You've got your markets down the side. You've got your forex, the indices, ordered by geographically ordered, I guess you'd say. Equities ordered by sorted by, first of all, country and then alphabetically. Commodities, bonds and interest rates, good selection there, and options. Now, once you drill down to the market screen, this is what you see. We've clicked on popular markets here. You can, let's take a look at the dollar Swiss, for instance. You've got the bid and ask, the buy and sell price. This fluctuates in real time, blue or red, obviously, depending on what it's doing. You can see the daily low and high, so you can put that price into some kind of context. You can see where it's been that day. Also, Etx will quote this in terms of a percentage change, whether it's how much it's up or down on the open. Just to the right, you've got an array of little buttons that look like kind of an aeroplane cockpit. So let's just kind of look at what they do. You can add things to a watch list. So I've just clicked the dollar Swiss in my watch list here, and it goes into my watch list there. The other buttons you have, let me just go back to the popular market so you can see. So we're back in the same place. The other button you have is the show product info button. Now let me click on that. This brings up more details on the product in question. Now you'll notice that you have these two trade screens here. That's the thing about Etx. You're never more than a couple of clicks away from being able to trade something. So you can trade by clicking that, or you can trade by clicking in here, or you can trade from the chart itself. There's actually a couple of ways to do that. So that's four ways you can trade within this interface. And that's just off the top of my head. I'm sure there's more than that. So at every corner, Etx is trying to get you to put on a trade. Now that's fine. It means that this kind of basically the essential feature of a trading platform is very close at hand. But it does mean that you have to be careful in terms of where you click, which should go without saying, but it's worth bearing in mind. We'll skip this for now because we're going to come on to trading later. You can see the product info, the times of this market's open available for you, the margin you're going to be required to post if you do trade this market, minimum position, the minimum that you're going to need to bet or put on. That's quite useful for new traders. What's interesting is they've got a Pip Calculator as well. One thing that definitely confused me when I was starting out trading is what is a movement? Which of these numbers is relevant? If I put on kind of £5 a point, what is a point? Well, Etx makes that pretty easy for you to see. You can see here the relevant these are the relevant digits here, 76 and 78. So if and you can see this worked out for you. So if I was to put on a bet of £10 a point, and if I want to see, okay, if this market moved to 9790.9, what would that mean for me? Well, you can see that it's just calculated that that would be 11 pips, and so it would be a profit or loss of £110. So I think that's pretty useful. That would have definitely helped me if I'd have had that when I started out. Okay, the other thing you can do from this market screen is you can create an alert. Now this is not an order that features over here. Rather, this is actually an email alert that you can create, or an alert in the interface that will tell you when something you're interested in reaches a certain price. So if I want to set an alert for if this ever reaches 97790, I can hey the alert. I can set that up to have it emailed to me. So if I place that, I'm going to get an email now when this market hits this price. So there you go. Okay, just the other thing to cover is the charts in ETX, which are quite good, which they're quite proud of, quite rightly. So it defaults to the candlestick chart. I think these figures change slightly depending on what you're looking at. So ETX tries to figure out what is the best option for you, but you can very easily adjust them. You can look at different time periods. You can bring up a different chart type. I guess most people are like me; they just stick to candlesticks. You can trade from this chart as well, and you can do all the standard things. Drawing lines, bringing up sticking your horizontals on, and marking the Fibonacci figures as well, so you can see look for potential pivot points. One thing I find quite interesting about these charts is that it will actually show the spread, so it's nice enough to be able to show where ETX's spread falls on either side of the price. You can turn that off. That's off by default, but you can turn that on. I think that's quite a useful feature. Okay, so probably the easiest way to trade is to do it from this market screen. You click the trade button and you get this pretty simple window, and if you click advanced it gives you all the options which you're probably going to want to do. First of all, you can see the price up there. Red is sell, blue is buy. You enter your quantity, click if you want to stop. You should always, pretty much always set a stop loss. Now ETX will give you the stop in terms of a distance, distance away from the current level. So you can adjust that to something that's suitable for you. You've also got the option to create a trailing stop, which the option for that is just below. So I'm just going to actually create a stop about 30 points away, which is, I'm going to sell, so that's down at 132. So if it moves down to 132, then it will automatically get me out of this. And I'm going to click sell, and straight away you can see my trade is executed, and you can see it right down there at the bottom of the screen under open positions. Now, what used to confuse me about trading is that every time I would open a new trade, as soon as I made it, I was instantly in the red. I thought, am I always making these bad calls? Now, it turns out it's not just me, but that's always the case when you make a spread trade, because of the spread, you're always forced to take a slightly worse price. So that means that anytime you ever make a trade, you always start off in the red. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Fingers crossed, you've made the right call, so that will come back into the black as the position moves in your favour. Okay, just to end our tour of ETX, let's look at what happened to our bet. We left it a few hours. Now, we actually opened a trade on 888 Holdings, which is not the most volatile stock at the moment. It moved about £2.8 in our favour. So let's just see how we close that. All we do is we look at our open positions, we click the close button to close out the trade, and within a few seconds that money's in our account.